normally do. You look into the title, you look into the table of contents, you look the first page and then just glance through in the last page. That's what normally usually do it. I have no idea, this is again I repeat, how those individuals who ever work as a judge in the Supreme Court, they are saying they have a title of an IAS officer. No idea. The reason being is, first of all, they said that they have done this report with an objective mind. I have not understood what exactly is the methodology or the approach they have done. They have not explained it. Some of them are academician as far as their list of people are concerned. And I have no idea how did they get their PhD degree. I have no idea. The book has to be written, if they're writing it, what is the approach that they have taken to come up with that particular reasoning or output at the end, like a recommendation or the, how do I say, the conclusion. They have to explain the approach, how they have done it, so that it doesn't look like that this is my view, my philosophy. So fundamentally, the entire report definitely has to go to the dustbin for the simple reason that it's like some school student writing some paragraph just to get some mark or score from their teacher. That is that is the fundamental thing, is that, and then they call themselves to be the human rights to it. I'm a kind of a person who say, okay, because see the 600 pages, I directly jump into their word conclusion, because normally in the business world, because I come from that business environment kind of stuff, no investor has a chance to look 300, 400 pages of a business proposal. Nobody cares, because they normally look into few 1 or 2 pages, 7 slide, 4 slide. From coming from the background, I was trying to look what exactly it is. Fundamentally, I look into a table of contents. Everything is kind of a not clarity of how they are logically arranged, and then they are picking and choosing evidence from here and now. One evidence, even the evidence itself, when they call it evidence, are not quite sure whether that is the primary evidence or secondary evidence. So entirety of a report, I have no idea, and they call themselves, this is why I was feeling sad about it, that they are misusing that the name of the Honorable Supreme Court of India, the profession where they have been given a tagline, IAS officers. I feel sorry for the entire organization wherever they are. This is why I was referring in my earlier statement in the first round. They should be speaking as an individual, not getting into their kind of that salutation, I am the officer, this and that. So as an individual, they do not have that character of that professionalism. So for that is one fundamental thing. Entirety of report, I glance to it. The moment I come to know about this in some of the WhatsApp group, I glance immediately into their summary page at kind of towards the end, or 12 standard. Because the way they have written in the paragraph, it does not simply make sense, because the word and sentence are repeated again and again without a meaning, because every paragraph you are supposed to write with an intent. What is the message that you're trying to pass on? Everything is screwed up. Now from that perspective, I will quickly come into it because it's late. So first and fundamental, apart from the structure and methodology, one thing which everybody can take away, even can ask if anybody knows those POCL, what exactly is the intent or purpose of having spent the time, having written 600 pages? What exactly are you trying to do? What is your intent? If they say that it's a fact-finding mission as the core, have you covered all the point of view, previous background, past? So fundamental thing is they have failed in that. It's not a fact-finding mission. Now, if they claim that we have listed 10, 20, 30 recommendation. Now, if you are saying a recommendation for what? I'm coming to the core purpose of the 600 page they've written. What exactly is the purpose? If they're saying we are recommending, now who are you recommending? Are you recommending to the Meiteis? Are you recommending to the Cookies? Are you recommending to the Marawadis or Bengalis? Are you recommending to the government of Manipur? And if you are recommending, are you recommending something which is doable, which is understandable, which is implementable, which is can be discussed, and that recommendation, no one is clear about it. You can, whatever I'm saying is recorded. People can look into it. Who actually are they recommending for? And they've used a lot of flimsy word from that aspect, and they are recommending based on what? Are you recommending because you have been involved in that kind of a project before, not about the Manipur issue? On what basis are you recommending? Based on A equal plus B equal to C, is there equation or formula? So entirety of the purpose of that report, they have to tell why you have spent 2 years or 5 years or 1 month, whatever time they spend, travel to Manipur, so many meetings. Why you have wasted your precious time in your life? What is the purpose of writing single report? Neither is the fact finding, because there are a lot of facts and figures missing out, and there are a lot of errors out there. Neither is not something that people can pick it up, or government of Manipur or one Meitei within, or Meitei Lipul or the ITLF, whatever association or whatever they're referring to. It's not something that they can pick it up and then discuss it, because everything is not clear in or not implementable, not even some kind of confused. So the entire report is kind of definitely worth going into the dustbin. Now, coming to the specific part, the fundamental thing is the word that claim to be that objectivity. Now, in that objectivity, the fundamental issue I have is they are asking if ever in any part of India, two communities, two religious groups, two organizations, when two or three or four some kind of parties are arguing or fighting, and you think that just by writing a report you can fix that particular kind of that situation. It's not going to happen, not even in the school when two kids are fighting. So the point we are trying to say is you understand QCL people, they need to just retire. I mean, they retire, get out of this stuff, because don't waste people's, don't make the world a difficult place to live. Retirement, just retire. Your time is out. If they are reviewing, they are not supposed to say, Tom said it, Jerry says it, John says it. They have to, this is why, again, coming back, how did they become the judge? How did they become the IS officer? They're supposed to review from the structural point of view, from the context point of view, by leaving aside it is Kuki, by leaving aside this is Meitei. They have to review, if you say objectively, there are two groups of community arguing, what is the government setup? What is the policy setup? What is this setup, that setup? Take the individual emotion out of it. They have not done anywhere in their entirety. And they're calling themselves to be, and they're still using ex-Supreme Court judgment. They're defaming the Honorable Supreme Court, very sadly. Now, coming to the quick points, one, the political scenario. Law enforcement people has to bring it down, that particular crisis in Churchampur. And this is what this means is about illegal immigrant, the baseline. There are a lot of debate. I'm not doing it. Now, even that was also not mentioned. Second point, everybody has said about the Kuki militants. The fundamental thing I did ask, and I did put into them also, consider a scenario on the 3rd of May, if there were no Kuki armed militants holding guns, if the Indian government that did not if the Indian government that did not have the suspension of operation in force and asked Assam Rifle and Indian Army to supervise them or monitor them, if we assume that none of this happened, that means Sioux agreement was not there, it would have never happened. Now, what is the Indian government still doing? Even the governor has come and they keep quiet. They started making noise 1-2 days come. None of the guns of those Sioux militants have ever mentioned in the media or anywhere that they have done this. And about a report somewhere, news clipping are coming that Indian government is going to renew or extend or something is going to happen with the suspension operation. Now, this is why fundamentally the all Indian has to ask. This is again not directing because of No, this we I personally, and I'm sure many of the Meitei, we are not saying that you stand in my side. We are not talking about my side or your side. We are not asking just because I'm a Meitei, support Meitei. I'm not asking neither many of the Meitei. We are fundamental asking the fundamental question which you celebrate to be the 15th August as the Independence Day, Republic Day. You are proudly claiming and holding the tricolor. You have to have some common sense. So why would a republic, a democratic country, which is not ruled by the military for whatever reasons, no, we are not Pakistan, allow a group of individuals who happen to be also many from the Myanmar, because they're leaders of this Kuki militants were suspension of resign. They are Burmese origins. Clearly, factual infos are there. The official records of the government of India. They are involved and they have the gun, have already been involved in killing of the Indians within Manipur. For whatever reason, because they have geopolitics in Myanmar, who cares? Is India ruled by the military or is India ruled by the vote and this democratic system? So I'm asking to all the Indians, why would the Indian government, because of what happened in Myanmar, geopolitics, should that be overriding the fundamental fact that it should the Indian government extend an agreement by keeping a terrorist, a group of militants who already murder and kill in whatever shape and form of Indian should be entertained. Next, fast forward. Fundamentally, I am very hurt by the way they have written. It amounts to kind of insanity. They have written the word in a tense, in a phrase, the meaning. They have mocked Sanamahism. They use the word Sanamahi revivalist, Arambai Tengol, this and that, a lot of in a different negative direction. But when they mention the word Christianity, minority, they put it as if that is the de facto gold standard, everything has to be. Who give these people the right to mock somebody's faith? Now, those individual has to be, this is why I mentioned that in my Twitter kind of messages, wherever they are, if I get ever chance in my life, if I ever come to know somehow that one of them are in an event I'm attending, I'm going to call them out. Who give them the permission of my faith, my ancestor, my God? Yet they're saying that their God is correct and my God is false. What is the way they're writing it? That means we are kind of some cult. Who gives them that the right? And they claim to be the ex-Supreme Court judge. And they do not use their name, but using their titles, which is again ex. This is not acceptable in a country like India, and they claim to be human rights. Next, fast forward. They did mention that the then chief minister was anti-cookie, that kind of a lot of stuff are there. The fundamental thing is that even he himself, the former chief minister Biren, said there are clips available that he has done a lot of stuff for cookies before. Without getting into this and that, fundamental thing is everybody can simply open Google and YouTube. There are a lot of events before May 3rd. There are a lot of good festivals are there. The MLAs are dancing on the stage. All these MLAs of the cookies and all the CSOs, those thikas, the contract, everybody is happy. They're lovey-dovey. And suddenly on the 3rd May, the next day, Biren Singh become the enemy of the cookies. How is that possible? I'm not supporting the chief minister, this and that. Everybody has to be accountable. But the report, these people are directly charging that everything before 3rd May, if also Biren Singh was the enemy of the cookie. How can that? They blatantly lie and they claim to be the judge. They themselves says that for reserve forest was suddenly changed by the CM Biren. And now, without checking, and that is the fundamental thing is the UPSC and all those eminent commission, how did they give the IAS position to those people? reserve forest, and everybody can check it. I'm not going to take more time. And then they mention about it. This war may have been, or this conflict may have been created to steal the mineral rights. Now, previous speaker have already said, in the hill areas, we still have in the Republic of India, when they celebrate few days ago, 15th August, 70 years, this year, so many things. We still have Zamindar system in Manipur. Zamindar system has already been, they have so many Bollywood movies where the Zamindar doing this and that, but still practice in Manipur. And they are not equating the Zamindar system. The village chief, the cookies already exist past, Speaker already said in 1967. And our honorable, that, or I don't know, I'm not sure whether it's honorable or not, sorry for saying that. The governor is going and saying that I have attended a function of the village chief. Now, this is not about BJP or Congress. The fundamental thing is they write the exam to pass the IAS officer. They become the IAS officer. Now they're becoming the governor. On what basis they have written the exam? Did they write in their exam saying the Zamindar system is good for India? And still in Manipur, they are not equating the cookies, chiptian, that kind of a thing, equal to the Zamindar system. I have no idea how they pass the exam also. If that is the case, now one chip can simply sign off and do whatever it is. What is happening is in proper Imphal or any part of India, every individual has a voice. But in where cookie chips are, none of those individual families have a voice. Why? Because Zamindar system is there. So if somebody with Adani or whatever the business people in the world come and want to do business, will they prefer somebody like a Zamindar system or the mass 1 lakh or 2 lakh or whatever number to take signature from everyone? Just call all those cookie chips. Simply let them sign on the paper. If they want to dig the minerals, they will dig it. So what kind of philosophy they have written this? And let me say one more here. I have already posted also to them also. Now, we do not want to be making cookie concept. I'm simply asking as an Indian, if they write the central service exam, if they write the exam to become a judge, I want every Indian who are thinking about the future, if they're still working as a judge or IAS officer, I want them to think, if this kind of situation ever happen in UP or West Bengal or Maharashtra or Karnataka, any part of India, two communities, two religious groups, two organizations, anything which is two or three, this situation happen. Should wherever the Assam Rifle or the Indian Army, this regiment, that regiment, will all of them simply pick up one group of people from one side to another and then suddenly put barricade and declare a buffer zone? Now, my question that every Indian should be asking is this going to be the template as a precedent in India that whenever there is a riot scenario happen, the entire kind of a community from one side will be transferred onto the another side? Will this be the norm, or this only for Manipur?